Hello, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here I share about faith and I give tips, ideas, information, and guidance on how to settle in the UK, either as a student, a recent graduate, a skilled worker, a mother, a wife. The list is endless. So, if you're interested in such content or you have recently moved into the UK and you're looking for ideas, kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. In today's video, I will be sharing with you essential things you need to do when you move into the UK as a family. I have a video about essential things you need to do when you move into the UK as a student. So please check it out. So, welcome. You have either been offered a job or you've gotten an admission or you've been offered a place in the university and you have a visa and you've put your whole family on flights and you're here in the UK. Congratulations, you finally made it. I'm sure your children are so excited that they are now in the abroad. So, welcome to the UK. I will be sharing essential things that you need to do today. The first thing is, I'm sure you know that already, get your BRP, your biometric resident permit for all your family, your wife and your kids. If you've got no kids, just you and your spouse. Your BRP is the evidence that you live in the UK. The good thing with a family is your wife or your husband is the main applicant, which means is the main person that has possibly gotten a job or is studying, and your spouse is the dependent. The good thing about this is that your dependent has unlimited hours to work. Yay! Get your BRP and know your work restrictions. You are not allowed any kind of public funds. I'm going to make another video on what public fund entails for children, for adults, and all of that. So please watch out for that. Also, your accommodation is either you have already sorted out your accommodation or not. It's very important. If it's possible, I usually advise that whoever is the student or the skilled worker should always come first and settle in and then start finding accommodation for his or her family, because accommodation, there is a lot of pressure on accommodation because families, you are in competition with, people that live in the UK already that want to move houses and all of that. And someone that is already in the UK that has a full-time job, that has a credit history and all of that would most likely get an accommodation before you, who is just coming into the country. Because in the UK, once you have more than a child, once they are not same sex, you start thinking about 2 or 3 bedroom flats or say a house. So there are lots of things to consider, but whichever level you're at, whether you've gotten your accommodation already, good. If you're yet to get it, I believe God will help you to get one. And also something you need to consider about accommodation as a family is schools. Schools in the UK are offered based on proximity to your home address. So you have to start thinking, what school are my children going to go to? If your children are under the age of 4, then you want to start thinking childcare. I'm going to make a video on that as well. So the next thing is NI number. For a student, you would have to get an NI number. If you're not a student, if you're a skilled worker, you are automatically assigned an NI number, which is a national insurance number. You need to register with the GP as a family. Registering with the GP, because you have children, it's always, good for you to register with a general practitioner, your GP, that is nearest to your home, because you're able to quickly, take your children to hospital if they need any kind of medical care and all of that. So just go on Google, find the nearest GP to your home address. You see, everything connects. As a family, to be honest, you would appreciate having a car to be able to drive your children to school, to be able to maybe drop off your spouse, to be able to juggle one or two things. So the good news is you're allowed to use your international driving license in the UK for 1 year. Only 1 year. So I always advise people, as soon as you get in, you can drive, but you need to start thinking about car insurance and all of that. Try to apply for your driving license. You will be offered a provisional driving license. So with that, you can start, thinking about, oh, what is the next step? But you can drive with your international license for a year. The next thing on my list is open a bank account. Get a bank account as soon as you get in, because you're going to need to pay for a lot of things. The UK is almost like a cashless community, so you need your card to, swipe here, swipe there. For children, you need to buy a lot of things, schools and all that. So, but before you get an official bank account, you can always go online and open a Monzo account or a Revolut account. These are online accounts that, you can get as quick as possible. You just fill the form online and then you have an account. You can put money there and, you can get on with your life. Also, when you open a bank account, you can also open a savings for your kids. There's like a kind of kids account that is attached to your own app. Don't spend your children's money like me, you. Don't tell my daughter. you know, is also a very good way of saving. I've learned, because I put some money in there, and when there's a need, I say, God, I need this money. My husband will always say, I thought that's savings. You don't spend your savings out. Please let me spend this one. I will save it back. Don't do that. Save your children's money. So, like I said earlier, if your child is below the age of 4, you need to think about childcare. That's the next thing. You think about childcare. If your child is above 4, which means they are supposed to be in school, that is if their 4th birthday is before August, for example, that have their 4th birthday between September 2022 and August 2023. They are the ones that have just started school now. I'm going to have a whole video on school and all that. So if your children are going to start school, you need to call your council to get a school place. The best thing to do is to go online and find and just type school admissions for your area. Say school admissions in Nottingham, school admissions in Leighton Buzzard, in Dunstable. Just type on Google school admissions for whatever city you're in. And then you can register online. You'll be able to put in your child's date of birth, and it will be able to tell you what class your child will be. Then you follow up with a call. Then you have to pick schools. Register yourself on an electoral register. That will really help you. Register to vote. Be sure that you can vote anyway. I am a Commonwealth citizen, so I'm able to vote. So you need to be sure that you are able to vote. So there's a list. If you go to the electoral register, it will help you build your credit score. As God blesses you, open doors for you, God bless, God gives your family enough money to get a house. These are things that will add up in a long run. So the last thing I want to talk about is get support groups. There are lots of support groups for children in different churches, in councils. If you just Google online, support groups near me. If you're pregnant, there's support group for pregnant women. There's bomb to baby groups where all you need to go there is just go there, sit, have some exercise. There are lots of support, and it's free. Ofenigbala. Sorry, that means salvation is free in Yoruba. So it is free. You are not paying anything. So please enjoy it while it lasts. It's not every time you get free thing in the UK. Everything is everything is paid for. So enjoy the support groups. I also want to put this out to parents. When you come from abroad, please meet the spiritual needs of your children. If you are going to a church where the spiritual needs of your children cannot be met, please, you need to become the Sunday school teacher of that church. If you think you don't have the capacity, you don't have the time to do so, then find a church where your children can have the right foundation in God. You as a parent, you already know your faith level. You as a parent, you know that your goal and aim is to make heaven. You as a parent can make decisions of where you want to be. You as a parent can make that decision, but your children are just growing up and they need that foundation. Our children need to know God early. So we need to set the foundation right for them. Whatever age your children are, you need to be their first Sunday school teacher. So if you are going to a church where your children's spiritual needs are not met, there's trouble. Please become the Sunday school teacher. Tell the pastor, I want to be teaching children, and then also teach your children from home as well. Let them know the Bible. Read your Bible to your children. Have conversations with your children. In this country, your children have to be your best friend. You have to be your children's best friend. No time for negligence. You cannot neglect your children. It will be, you will be called out, serious called out. It is not called out on social media. You will be called out by investigation and report. So please, let us help our children to grow in the Lord. Go to a church that can help your children grow. If they don't have those services in that church, it's okay. If you can't find a church that is nearest to you that can help your children, teach your children the word, then you become the Sunday school teacher. Please don't come from abroad and be sitting online with your children. You can be kaboshin. You will enjoy the service. You will see yourself growing spiritually, but your children are not. And it becomes a very big problem. That's why the Bible says, if the foundation is destroyed, what shall the righteous do? So set the foundation now so it won't be destroyed. Our children, they are the heritage of the Lord. How can we prove this? By teaching them, by showing them, by leading by example. In the UK, as a family, we help each other. Daddy is helping mommy, mommy is helping daddy, and the children are seeing that love between you from home. There's a lot of pressure out there when they go to school. And you as a parent, be the first person they want to talk to about everything. And the only way that can happen is for you to make time for your children. It's so easy to get into this country, and trust me, when you start working, your husband goes in the morning, he comes back in the evening. You as the wife, you are also going at night. Yes, you need to pay the bills and all that, but let the focus be on your children. You work here on Sundays, so nobody is going to know whether you're a Christian. So if one person is working on Sunday, the other person has to be available to cater for the children's spiritual needs. And not just on Sunday, I mean every day. So you have to be available for your children. This is a topic, by the grace of God, I'm going to be, expanding on in the future and bringing people, families who are settled here in the UK to talk to you about how to help your children, how to support them. I hope all these tips have been able to help you as a family as you settle in the UK. Everything I've spoken about, one or two things, I'm going to put the link in the description box. Subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next video. No limits.